former President Donald Trump is in some serious legal trouble. Now, that's not to say, of course, that's never happened before, but the recent search of Mar-a-Lago has actually kicked things up a notch by making this into a criminal investigation as opposed to a civil investigation. Now, as a result, Trump has been, as anyone who is facing any sort of criminal legal jeopardy would do, is searching for good legal representation. Now, the only problem is, of course, is that nobody wants to work for him. At least no one of any high caliber. So that represents a little bit of a problem. In fact, here is reporter Jonathan Carl reporting about how people inside the Trump orbit are dealing with this.
Publicly, what they're saying is this is rallying Republicans to Trump's defense. This makes it more likely that he will run for president, more likely that he will win the Republican nomination, campaigning against this political action by the FBI and the DOJ. Privately, they are really concerned. And one of the big concerns here is that Trump has nobody defending him. If you look at his legal team, it is comically inept and inexperienced. All of the big names who defended him through the first two impeachments, through the Mueller investigation, they are gone. There is real concern that he needs to bring in a heavy-hitting criminal defense attorney. Well, he's been asking. I mean, I know of several that have been approached who have said no. I even know of one prominent criminal defense attorney who was approached who didn't even return the phone call. So and this raises another question, George, is the idea of Donald Trump running for president again and being the front runner for the Republican nominations. Will Republicans be comfortable supporting a candidate who cannot even hire a criminal defense attorney?
That is a big question.
Okay, so look, I got an answer to that question. I mean, will Republicans be comfortable supporting a candidate who can't hire a criminal defense attorney? Yes, of course they'll be comfortable. Look, these people do not care if Donald Trump is running the country from a jail cell. They just want him to be president because, again, he hates the same people that they hate. Don't believe me? Listen to this.
What do you think the next thing that happens here is? Do you think that they would try and indict the former president in the hopes of convicting him and having him in jail at the time of the next election to prevent him from running? Because a conviction, by the way, constitutionally would not prevent him from running for office. You know, this code that is being cited by Mark Elias and all these other people negates the very enumerated qualifications in the Constitution and the specific requirements for somebody not to be eligible to run, and that would be impeachment and conviction. It doesn't mention anything about being, maybe not following every single dotted I and crossed T in the Presidential Records Act or the National Archives Act.
So, guys, Jonathan, you got to understand, it's a cult. I don't know if people in mainstream media seem to realize that. Mainstream reporters, guys, you've got to understand, it's a cult. They don't care. You are not going to sway anybody who is not, who is diehard MAGA. They don't care. They want an authoritarian, so we should stop trying to sway those people. It's not going to work. Instead, what we need to do is, look, I think we should prevent Trump by actually improving the material conditions of all Americans. Understand that when people's material conditions are not being met, that's when fascism begins to rise. Okay, when average people are not getting a fair shake and the elites are getting all the money, which has been happening in the United States for a long, long time, thanks to mainly conservatives, but then, of course, you have corporate Democrats as well. That's when fascism rises. When people lose their political power. We don't have political power. In fact, you know who has it? Rich people. So, again, the needs of regular working class Americans are not being met. And that predisposes them, or makes them, I should say, more receptive to right-wing ideologies and demagoguery, which is what you've seen from Trump. But anyway, getting back to the issue of lawyers. Look, these people, they're all clown shoes. Let me give you an example. You have former OANN host Christina Bobb. you have Evan Corcoran. Evan Corcoran released a memo that focused on Donald Trump's declassification powers, right? Said, oh, yeah, he can declassify anything at any time he wants. And then neglected to mention that he did not. Now, the other thing, too, that's important about that is that turns out the classification is not really relevant in the legal case the government is going against Trump. According to the search warrant, federal agents were seeking evidence of 3 potential crimes, none of which relied on the classification status of the documents found at Mar-a-Lago, which were, of course, top secret. Many of them were. Not only that, but the law on the handling of classified material cited by Mr. Corcoran in the letter was also not among them. Then, on lawyers, you have, I love this. This is my favorite part of this, okay? So Donald Trump says, oh, we need a lawyer. Well, guess what? Let's just hire the guy that I saw on TV. And that's exactly what happened. You have TV lawyer Jim Trusty. Well, I mean, he must be good. He's got Trusty in the name. We obviously must trusty him. When he says he's a good lawyer, he's on TV. You don't get to be on TV if you don't have a good lawyer. Oh, again, idiot. All he cares about is appearances. That's it. He's an idiot. Total clown shoes. Okay, but anyway, Alina Habba, another one of Donald Trump's lawyers. Now, Alina Habba apparently has had some racist interactions and tendencies in the past. In fact, according to a former employee, Nasira Drayton, black woman who worked at Habba's firm as a legal assistant, launched a lawsuit against her for discrimination and for creating a hostile work environment because, get this, what would happen is that her and her partner, Habba and her partner at the firm, would consistently play hip hop music in the office. They would blast it and then sing along at the parts where they said the N-word. And on at least one occasion, they tried to, defend themselves by saying, hey, we played that music for you. You're a black person. Obviously, you must like this black music, to which I get to sing the N-word to. Now, of course, again, you really can't get that much more racist than that, really. Look, Drayton said this. She felt shocked, embarrassed, and humiliated as a result of this. So these are just some of the clown shoes lawyers that are representing Donald Trump. I know. I thought he picks the greatest people, the best people, right? Again, the smartest people, the greatest people. I surround myself with the best. Yeah. Okay. And again, the reason that he has to hire clown shoes lawyers is because nobody else will work for him. He's burned all the bridges with the legal community through not only his terrible reputation, okay, but mainly, if you don't care at all about the reputation, that's fine. Some lawyers don't. But the major factor here that I think is because he doesn't pay his lawyers. And that's it. He's been sued, again, hundreds of times for not paying people. He just doesn't pay people. If you work for him, if you work for Donald Trump and you expect to get paid, well, you're a sucker. You ain't seeing any of that money. And that's the real reason. The guy is an absolute bum. Total bum. And so, look, that's the reality. And everybody who, is smart, who has 2 brain cells to put together, knows it. Which kind of explains why you have the caliber of lawyer working for Donald Trump that you have.